Alright, Corpse Run here to give you a quick overview of character creation in the ArcheAge beta. We're going to start really quickly. Hit Create Character here. That's going to bring us to the screen to select races. We do have 4 different races. Technically it's 4, however, for all intents and purposes, it's really 3 because 2 of them are humans. So you've really got human, elf, and Faran. Because the Nuian and the Harani are both human races. So that's kind of disappointing, but if you take a look, you'll notice, first of all, you have 4 races, 2 of them on each faction, East and West. These factions do compete, so think of it as Horde and Alliance, but in this case, you've got 2 different factions, East and West. One thing you will notice right off the bat is, unlike WoW and WildStar and most other MMOs nowadays, who seem to be going away from giving buffs to races so that you can pick your race just based on cosmetics and looks, ArcheAge does it kind of the old school way. They do have buffs for each of the different races, and they can be fairly substantial. For instance, the Nuian has 2 different buffs. The first one reduces construction time for houses and castles by 30%, which in a crafting heavy game like this can be a pretty good buff. The second buff, Nui's Blessing, actually doubles the time that their stats are increased after being resurrected. I don't know how useful that will be, but it's a pretty decent buff. On Elf, to me, the Elf and the Faran probably have the best racial buffs. The Elf has 1 buff that will allow them to hold their breath for an extra 20 seconds, and another one that will allow them to increase their swim speed by 5%. Now, if you're going to be a pirate in this game, or you're going to spend a lot of time on the high seas, the Elf might be a good way to go. The Faran have a buff, cat-like reflexes, which will decrease fall damage by 20%, which can be pretty substantial in this game because you do have gliders later. And if you take damage while you are on a glider, you will fall. And this could conceivably save your life in PvP if you're gliding away and somebody shoots you. And then they also have strong claws, which allows them to climb trees and ladders 30% faster. Haven't noticed a huge advantage in that, but it is there. And then lastly, you have Harani, who have 2 buffs. Number 1 is Portal Master, that reduces the cast time and cooldown on their recall ability. That's more of a quality of life buff. And then you also have Jungle Tamers, which reduces the time required for logging trees and gathering herbs, which again is a quality of life buff. If you are looking for a class just to help you in combat or PvP or whatnot, probably the Elf or the Faran are the way you want to go, just because of the buffs. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference one way or the other, but those buffs are pretty decent. As far as looks goes, the Nuian looks like your typical Western human, both male and female. The Elf looks like a typical elf. Nothing you're going to see, nothing that's going to blow you away there. The Faran, I'm really hesitant always to go beast races, especially with Asian or Eastern-made MMOs, because I don't like the art style. The Faran, however, look pretty cool. I've got to give them that. Now, I much prefer the the male version of the Faran over the female version, because they do look a lot more, Asian influence, that anime art style. But the male Faran look pretty cool. They really do. The Harani are Eastern influenced humans, and other than that, they are typical humans. So right now we're just going to start off with the Nuian human male. Once you pick that, you're going to hit Appearance, and that's going to bring you to the Appearance customization screen. Now, this screen is pretty much like every other typical MMO out there. Your first thing is you've got hairstyles. You can pick from 21 different hairstyles, and hair color. Now you've got 60 different hair colors, and they can get pretty crazy. You can get purple and pink, and whatever you want to get, green, black, gray, whatever you want there. So you can get pretty crazy with that if you want. Next, you've got eyes. First, you select your eyebrows. You've got about 29 different eyebrows to choose from. You can go Bogman style from Breaking Bad if you want, or you can change it up, get some whatever you want there. You can select brow color. Again, this is pretty crazy. If you want red eyebrows, you can certainly do that. And you select iris color. So if you want green eyes, easily done. You can adjust the intensity here. You can go pink, lavender looking, red if you want to. Pretty much whatever you want to as far as eyes are concerned. From there, you go style. Here you can pick eye makeup, 16 different eye makeups. You can go goth if you want to. You can get a bruise on your eye. Whatever you want here. Just kind of pretty free to choose there. And then you can also change the intensity of it, so it's not quite as intense, and you can make that decision there. One big letdown to me was the beards. There are no big, long, free-flowing beards. They're all pretty closely trimmed or stubble. As far as that is concerned, I think the sideburns here are probably the best look, personally. You can also select your lip color. Yes, if you want blue lips, you can definitely get blue lips. If you want red, you can do that. Change the intensity here, and then you can change your beard color here. Again, if you want to, you can go really crazy and go with a green beard. All up to you. But you do have that ability. Next, you're going to go skin. Skin's pretty self-explanatory. You've got 8 different skin colors down here, all the way from light to dark, however you want to do that. And then you also have age lines. So you can make a character pretty old looking if you want to. Hey look, it's Clint Eastwood. And you can change the intensity of the lines here, so you can get some lines and then kind of make them a little bit less intense, so you're not quite as old looking if you want to. So you've got a lot of room to play around there. Finally, you've got paint. Paint, I'm going to start with the imperfections here. Imperfections are simply scars. It's kind of cool because you can put the scars on there and then you can move them around wherever you want to. You can also change the size of the scar, and you can change the angle, so you can pretty much put a scar wherever you want to, however you want to. You've also got you've got some pretty crazy huge scars if you want them, and then you've just got imperfections like moles. Hey, if you want a heart on your face, there you go. If you want a star, there you go. A poorly stitched, if you want to be Frankenstein, you've got the ability to do that. So whatever you want to do there. And then up here you've got paint. Now the paint options get kind of wild. First of all, you can be Braveheart if you want to. You can be the Crow if you want to. Why you'd want to do that, I have no idea, but you can do it. One of the weirder ones in here is you've got Darth Maul, kind of Darth Maul, and you've got the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker. I don't know why you would want to run around it as a medieval version of Heath Ledger's Joker, but if you want to do it, you certainly can. After that, you can go over here where it says Blend Looks, and you can kind of select a face from there and change it up. Okay, these are kind of pre-mades. However, you can go into eyes and pick some eyes. If you don't like any of the eyes that are on here, you can hit details, and you can actually change everything from the eye width, vertical position, the outer corner. I mean, you've got a lot of options there. You can do the same thing with the nose, the mouth, and the head. And you can go and change whatever you want to. Now, noticeably missing from character creation is a height and weight slider. There's no way to change that. All humans are the same height. They're all the same weight, which is pretty disappointing in my opinion. But other than that, I mean, it's got a pretty decent amount of options as far as customization. Once you get finished with that, you're going to hit select skill. That's going to bring you to the skill set screen. From here, you can pick your initial skill set out of a possibility of 6 skill sets. First is Battle Rage, which is going to be two-handed or dual-wield warrior style. It's going to give you a sampling of your available skills here. So like Frenzy, which increases melee attack and magic attack plus 30 each time you receive damage, and absorbs 21% of all received magic damage. Whirlwind Slash. It also shows you what it combos on from there. Sorcery, which is your typical mage. Fire. You can shoot all kinds of fireballs, chain lightning, meteor strike, which does a ton of damage, by the way. From there you go archery. It's your typical archer. You've got missile rain, which is an AoE, piercing shot, intensity, which increases range critical rate for 15 seconds. You've got vitalism, which is one of the basic healer skill sets, although it does have damage, of course. This is where you can revive targets and heal them, etc. Occultism, which is a lot like a necromancer. You can summon a wraith. You've got some dots, move speed buffs, that type of stuff. And then you've got shadow play, which is your typical rogue, stealth type guy. They even have a shadow step in here, where you teleport behind the enemy, reduce aggro, increases movement speed, and has a 50% chance to reduce its cooldown. So that is the 6 different skill sets you can choose from initially. After that, you simply enter your name, hit create character, and you are done. So that's about it for an overview of the character creation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.